Hi, in this video we're going to use trigonometry to find side lengths or the perimeter of an isosceles triangle. Remember, an isosceles triangle is where two of the side lengths are equal. Now, with trigonometry, which we've already looked at, we had to make sure that the triangle was a right angle triangle. Now, this currently isn't a right angle triangle, but if you were to split it like this in half, we can see that that line divides it exactly into two congruent triangles. So let's put in what we know. We know this is 90 degrees. If we halve that 14 at the bottom, because that's divided into two, it's bisected, that's going to be 7 centimeters here. And then that 86 is halved, it's bisected to get 43 degrees. And now we can work out some other side lengths. Now we need to work out the perimeter. So we already know the 14 here, but we need to know this side length here. Now if I just draw out this triangle separately for clarity, and we've got that this is 90 degrees, we've got 43 degrees here, and this is 7 centimeters. And we want to work out the hypotenuse. Let's just call it x, we don't know it, we're going to introduce the side length x. Now, remember the first step, we label the side lengths that are given, the x and the 7, in terms of how they relate to this angle of interest. So ignoring the 90 degrees, this is the angle of interest, the 43 degrees, and then you label the sides relative to that. So the x is the hypotenuse, because it's the longest side of the triangle, and the 7 is the opposite, because it's opposite this angle of interest. And then remember, we just use SOHCAHTOA, was our little mnemonic, to work out which trigonometric ratio to use. So here we're involving O and H. O and H is here, it's this one here. And what this was short for, if you remember, is sine of the angle is equal to O divided by H, right? So we just substitute into that formula. So it's sine of the angle of interest theta, which is the 43 degrees, equals the opposite, which is 7, over the adjacent, the hypotenuse, sorry, which is x. And now there was, and now because this x is stuck in the denominator, how do we get it out? Well, we could sort of rearrange it in a slow way. But remember, the quick way is that you can always swap the thing you're dividing by and the result of that division. So if we swap these two, that allows the x to escape the denominator, and we get x is equal to 7 over sine of 43 degrees. So we do that on our calculator, fraction button, 7 over sine of 43. Don't worry about how your calculator works out sine of 43. You get 10 point, and how many decimal places? Well, we need the perimeter. Let's give a few decimal places. So 2, 6, 4 will do. So now we've worked out the x, which was here, is 10.264. And then, because it's an isosceles triangle, that's going to be the same length here. And now we can just add those side lengths together to give the perimeter. So the perimeter will just be the three side lengths added. So the 10.264 plus 10.264 plus the bottom length, which was 14 in total. And add those together. I can just times my answer by 2 plus 14. And that gives me 34.5 to one decimal place. And that is the final answer. It's 34.5 centimeters.